Hi guys and girls, it's time for another wonderful Prezi on Kingdom Plantae. So, let's get through this part right here. Get your graphic organizer ready. There it goes. Okay, Kingdom Plantae, which Kingdom Plantae are plants. We've talked about them when we talked about photosynthesis, and they are all eukaryotes. They have a nucleus, they have membrane-bound organelles, and Plantae are also multicellular. Now, fungi, remember from the last video, could be multicellular or unicellular. Kingdom Plantae is multicellular. Now, plants have cell wall. Now, cell wall is in a plant is composed of cellulose, not chitin. Now, cellulose is what makes it where this tree picture over here on the right is possible, because that rigid cell wall gives the cell enough structure and support that the plants can grow to great heights. Now, nutrition-wise, plants are autotrophs. Autotrophs, that means they use the sun's energy to produce carbohydrates in the process called photosynthesis. Now, this picture, this goes through photosynthesis. You've seen a picture sort of like this when we did talk about photosynthesis, about the light-dependent and the light-independent reactions and where they take place. And, you know, this is inside of a chloroplast. Simplified version, here you go. You got light energy and carbon dioxide and water. The plant goes through photosynthesis and it gives off oxygen as a byproduct. Locomotion-wise, plants are sessile. There are no walking trees. I'm sorry for those of you guys who watch Lord of the Rings. But they don't have a need to move. They do have seeds, and seeds have some really unique adaptations to get them carried from place to place, such as tiny little hairs that can catch the wind. This nice little dandelion. They've got little wings. You guys have seen these on maple trees. They flutter. We call them little helicopters. You see them twirl. They can take that. There are also pine cones. Now, pine cones aren't you wouldn't think that is a way to move the seed, but it's kind of twofold. One, you got the pine cone that drops and rolls away, because if one plant's growing right by another plant, it gets shaded, doesn't get sun, can't go through photosynthesis. So it gets a little bit of distance just from the fact that it falls off the tree and rolls away. But the big thing with this is this protects the seed until it is opened. And a lot of pine cones, they have the adaptation where they open after being under great temperature, so like after forest fire. So basically after the trees get burned down because of a forest fire, these pine cones are open and dropping their seeds out so that the new trees can come about. Also, they have these nice little ones that have little sticky things. If you've ever gone hiking, you've probably found these on your socks if you went through a field afterwards. Or if your dog has gone out and played, you have little sticker ones sticking on there. That adhesiveness, it is a good adaptation to get animals, or you, to carry the seeds far afield. Now, some other resources. One down here, this link below, is a more in-depth explanation of plant characteristics. It goes into a lot more detail. It goes into plant reproduction. So when you're working on that part of our lesson, when you're doing your little information packet on it or our station activities, you could also use this YouTube video. Go into more detail. It's set up for an biology class, but it has good pictures. He explains it very well. I gave you this site to kind of help out. To click on, you need to go to my presentation. The links are still up on my page, so you can click them on there, so you can watch this. Or if you get done with this part and you still have some questions, you can look at it that way. All right, so that is Kingdom Plantae. So make sure your graphic organizer is filled out. After this one, you should have one video to watch, and that should be complete.